Hello, my name is Taryn Ray Smith. I'm 32 years old and I'm from Kansas. And today I'm going to share with you my dating horror story. This experience was really traumatic for me and it still haunts me to this day. So if by sharing my story in some way it helps someone else, I am happy to do so. And hopefully we can together make the world a better place. So I was dating, as one does, and I met someone who lived in the same town as me through social media, through Facebook, actually. And we messaged back and forth for a while and, seemed like we were hitting it off. And so he asked me to go on a date with him. I agreed to do so. We met up and hung out a little bit, and then we went to a local bar that was having a sangria night. And we got our sangria and we sat down across from one another, and I got an overwhelming bad feeling, a vibe that I could not ignore. I messaged one of my girlfriends and I told her what I was experiencing. So she was also on Mass Street and she was in a club that was down the street. So she said, ditch him, come find us here, and I met her on the street, actually. I ditched him and then went and found her on the street. And then we were like, let's go to the club, because then, if he is following, we'll be able to shake him. So we went to Tonic, is what it was called. We stayed out until Tonic closed at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning or something. Then, just to again ensure that he wasn't following me, I went with her and our other friends back to her house, which was on the completely opposite side of town as my place. And I stayed there until about 9:30 in the morning the next day. I got back to my place, went inside and locked the door behind me, went and laid down on I went in my room, and I was in my room for a little bit on my phone. I laid my head down on my pillow at about 9:42 a.m. The moment that I laid my head onto my pillow, our back door, which is on the main floor, just straight back from my room, swung open. And they walked into the house, and I heard a text tone that didn't sound like any of my roommates' text tones, and footsteps walked up to my bedroom door. I'm already terrified. Before I have a chance to do anything, my bedroom door swings open, and there is the guy that I went on a date with. And he starts professing his love for me. He starts saying, Taryn, I love you, and we need to be together. We have to be together. And so I took the path of least resistance for survival. And I was like, you know what? I love you too. Just give me a minute to get dressed, gather my thoughts, and then I'll come out and we can talk about us. And that worked. He closed my door. I immediately got up, ran to my door, locked it, and called 911. And within 3 to 5 minutes, there were 7 or 8 cop cars outside of my house. And they came into my house, and they detained him and put him on the front porch. And I was just extremely scared and distraught. So while he was on the porch and detained, he continued to stick his head inside the house and was still screaming how much he loved me. I think they were just trying to give me tough love, but I didn't appreciate that they were kind of victim blaming me. They were like, how did you meet this guy? Yep, that's why you don't meet people on the internet. And I'm just like, I get that, but also I'm traumatized. That's not the time. So anyways, that was also traumatizing on top of already being traumatized. And they informed me that he did have prior arrests, prior charges, and that he also had a 5-inch blade on him, a weapon. He got a restraining order And fortunately, he never contacted me again. Thank God he never came to bother me again. Um, I'm not sure if they took him to jail that day or not. I think they did. And then I had the decision on whether or not to press charges. And I didn't want to go to court and see him again. I chose not to press charges, but to get a restraining order. It's always important to be as proactive as we can and try to vet people before you meet them so you don't have a situation like it happened to me.